Hello and welcome to the problem solving session. We have about 10 problems to be done today, and the first example I am directly starting with it. We here will rectify whatever errors are there. There are two hydrogens which are anti to Br, this one as well as this one. This goes off because you are getting the more substituted alkene. So this is 1,2 elimination. They are anti-periplanar to each other. So first of all, the Br goes off. We'll come to this structure later, and loss of HBr will give us this compound. Now I am not putting H is not there. This cyclohexene, 1-methyl cyclohexene to be precise. And then ozonolysis, what we have done in ozonolysis, this becomes ketone, the other side becomes aldehyde. So 1, 2, 3, 4 intervening methylenes are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. One part becomes aldehyde, the other one becomes ketone. This is reductive workup, so you are going to get aldehyde. If it is oxidative, this will become acid, the other one will remain as a ketone. Mechanism and all we have already written, so no need to repeat the same thing. Second example, mostly the examples are from oxidation reduction topic. Jones oxidation. Jones is CrO3 in presence of H plus, and second is your sulfur-lide is linked with it. So first of all, let us write down the mechanism for Jones, and then the second part will come, that is the reaction with sulfur-lide. So the example is cyclohexanol. Okay, cyclohexanol is treated with Jones. Jones is chromium trioxide in presence of H plus. So initially double bond O, OH. Show this, or you can directly transfer this hydrogen there. Then I will show it on the top side so that you can show the abstraction of proton. Let me put this bond as slightly longer. So this will become ketone, and the other part is H2CrO3. Okay. Plus 6 oxidation number of chromium is becoming plus 4. So that is reduction. So this is first half. The second half is this ketone is supposed to react with the sulfonium-lide, and as you recollect, sulfonium-lides when interact with ketones, they will form epoxide. CH2 minus and SPH plus. Okay, this is the lide, and just show it this way. O minus, CH2 and SPH2 plus. This O comes here, this goes off, and ultimately you get an epoxide. So that is one of the method of synthesizing epoxide starting from ketones. Third example is bear vinegar. Some mixed examples are there, but mostly oxidation reduction I have seen. CF3COOH. So, the central ring is 5-membered. Okay. Then when it interacts with your peracid, I will just show peracid like this. This is trifluoroporacetic acid. The intermediate I am putting OH, O, COCF3, and this ring is intact. Okay. Now what happens? This comes here, and now you can show the migration of this NT group. So ultimately you will be having a central ring also as a 6-membered ring. The rings are not participating, only one bond is participating. And now let me put it as it appears. Carbonyl oxygen. So this is 6-membered ring, but little tilted. So this ketone becomes lactone, rest of the things are constant. Now next example, the fourth one is little interesting. If you look at the examples, it is combination of 3 reactions. So you must know the significance of each and every reagent, and then only you will be able to solve it. The first reaction is the elimination of water. So if you take phthalic acid and heat it, it will become phthalic anhydride. Then NH3 initially it is a ring opening, so CO, OH, NH2, then comes here, this goes off. Everything is catalyzed by heat. So in practice, how it is done, you get phthalimide. In laboratory we take urea and phthalic anhydride and heat it, the ammonia goes off and you will get this. This ammonia is also doing the same thing here, it is opening up and then it is cyclization, so you get phthalimide from here, and then phthalimide to anthranilic acid, that is your Hofmann's reaction or Hofmann's degradation reaction. Initially this phthalimide opens up into a primary amide, and that primary amide interacts with NaOBr. So the first thing is, let me put phthalimide, this is phthalimide, then the first thing is it should open up. When it opens up, this becomes CO, O minus, and this is CO NH2. You can show NH minus, but eventually it will take up the proton. Now this NH2 then interacts with your, I'll put Br this side just for the sake of convenience. COO minus C double bond O NH Br, then OH minus, abstract the proton, I'm putting this side, COO minus CON minus Br. Now this comes here, this entire ring migrates, this goes off. As a consequence of this, what will happen? We'll use this place for writing the remaining part. I'll draw it as it appears, N double bond C double bond O CO minus. We have to just put everything with nitrogen and then remaining part. Now this one, when interacts with water, it loses CO2 eventually and it becomes anthranilic acid. We have already seen, but just to revise the thing, because it is given as a combination, so that is the answer. So three reactions are put together, and that's why you must know the significance of each reagent, then only you will be able to solve it. Next one is diborane, or this BH3 is there. So BH3 we have seen, I'll put BH like this, and then boron and hydrogen, they are coming from the same side. So BH, so this is monoalkyl borane, this eventually becomes trialkyl borane. That means these three rings are there. Trialkyl. Then the H2O2 workup can give you 3 moles of alcohol. We have already written the mechanism. Just to recap, I will show you one step, the attack of OOH, then OOH, then shifting this here, this goes off, and then there will be there, you can go ahead and write down the formation of this secondary alcohol. So we have already written, so I am not repeating those things. Now the sixth example for today, PCC. Okay, PCC 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it is alcohol. PCC pyridinium chlorochromate you can write different ways. I will just put it OH attacks here, this goes off, O Cr double bond O minus, then this becomes aldehyde and the other part becomes H2CrO3. So the oxidation number is getting changed from +6 to +4. So the reagent is getting reduced, and this alcohol is becoming aldehyde. The advantage of PCC is it will not do any over oxidation. The next reaction is COOIT. Aromatic ring is there. Ethoxide base is there, so it will not harm the ester, but it can bring about the abstraction of proton, and that is how the ring formation will take place. I will put COAT on the top because that is the accessory now, and then this is the carbonyl. So this is your Dieckmann cyclization or Dieckmann condensation reaction. So that is the same product which is given over there. Okay. So let me clean this part. Okay. The next reaction is a reaction of two benzaldehyde molecules in presence of NaCN and then MnO2, and it gives intermediate which reacts with NaOH, eventually gives B. So I will put benzaldehyde straight away here. The attack of Cn minus PHCO minus Cn O minus takes up this, you get more stabilized carbanion. Now this interacts with your benzaldehyde, another molecule of benzaldehyde. Let me put it this way. So it will be PHCOH Cn CO minus PHH. It comes here, this comes here, this goes off. So eventually you will get COCH PHOH. So this is benzoin. When it interacts with MnO2, it is secondary alcohol. This becomes diketone. So this is benzyl, and the mechanism part is easy. I will just quickly put that mechanism also. Okay, like this MnO2 mechanism from here to here. This part is okay. So benzoin to benzyl, that oxidation part we have to write, and then finally the rearrangement which is occurring over there. PSCHOH, you can put it anyway, no problem. MnO2, PHCHO MnOH, COPH, the loss of this, and minus MnOH twice. So this will become benzyl, and this is benzyl, and since benzyl is there, naturally the rearrangement is benzyl benzylic acid rearrangement, which is catalyzed by OH minus. So we have to put that. So A is benzyl and B is benzylic acid. So I'll just put it this way. OH minus can attack at any carbon because it is they are all equivalent. Let me put OH, C double bond O, H, to comes here, and this goes here, goes here. So it will be COH COH. Of course, this is the product which is obtained after workup. There some acidic workup is required because NaOH is there. So all these will be in the form of salt, but acidic workup can give you the alpha hydroxy acid, that is nothing but benzyl benzylic acid rearrangement. 1,2-diketone is becoming 1 alpha hydroxy carboxylic acid. Initially it is 5-membered ring, so let me put that 5-membered ring here. NH methyl lithium is a base which will abstract the proton, and 1,1 elimination can give you fluorocarbon. This interacts and you will get the formation of then in presence of base you can lose this so ultimately it is the target molecule. Now this is your carbene addition across the double bond. One more example. This ketone, and then this will add eventually this compound will become oxime. Then acetyl chloride can make it OAC. The acetyl chloride is this one. So OAC is better leaving group, so this departs. This comes here, and this hydrogen is sacrificed. So I will just put as it appears. It is the same molecule. Your methyl and gem dimethyl are on adjacent carbon, that is there, and this double bond is not there. I think this is not there. Probably that is not there. Okay, so this double bond proton is lost. This is the leaving group that initiates all these things. So that is the before I close, I will give some examples you can practice. If not, next time we will do these things. MnO2, you have to predict the product. Second one is selenium dioxide, predict the product. Here I will put the product. So you have to do these 3 examples. MnO2 already we have done, so that is not required. These two you can practice, because these are the examples from references. Some examples have been asked in the exam also. So on safer side, you have to do all these things, and the important part is practice, because the writing mechanism means you have to practice. Even you can use a board like me, where you can write and erase, or you can get small slates also, just like this board. Small slates are available, you can use them, so that you no need to use so many papers. The papers are more costly, and managing slate is easy than managing heap of paper. Okay. We'll continue from here in the next lecture. Thank you.